July 19, 2019 was when I first uploaded the video to this channel. It was, for a lack of better words, absolutely terrible. It was a bad video, it had a non-existent thumbnail, it had a terrible title, a terrible description, terrible tags, and somehow more than 1,000 people have seen this. It's not good, and I don't recommend that anybody goes and watches it. Honestly, I don't recommend you go back and watch any of these early videos actually, because none of them are good. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, but everybody's got to start somewhere, and it set me on this really, really long journey. I didn't realize this, but basically since I started, I've been doing daily uploads. I did take a couple of breaks here and there. I think I took like a week break off at one point, and I have gotten more consistent over time, but pretty much daily uploads for the past 3 years. Then on January 26, 2020, I got a shout out from Luke, and I still massively appreciate it, and that was what set me on the trajectory that I'm on today. Obviously, making the videos and trying to make them better and better and better is what has kept me on that trajectory, but this is where it all started. And some people have asked me, like, how do I do it? How do I keep motivated? How do I make daily videos for as long as I have? And I genuinely don't have an answer for you. If I did, I'd probably not be doing YouTube, I'd be writing self-help books. And I wouldn't say that I'm honestly motivated. I don't think motivated is the best way to describe it. I just enjoy putting the content out. I enjoy, like, researching these random topics and finding out how these computer systems work. I have always wanted to do something in the tech space. I'm just not doing it in the more traditional fashion. I'm not a programmer. I'm not a network engineer or anything like that. And I'm just researching and making content about what I want to talk about. There are plenty of days where I wake up and I've got to plan some videos, I've got to upload some stuff, I've got to record some videos and things like that, and I just don't want to do it. But it's got to get done, and it's going to happen at some point. So I sit down, I start recording, the first like 20 or 30 minutes are really, really rough, and then eventually I get into a rhythm and I just get the work done. And I've got no plans to stop what I'm doing really anytime soon. Maybe I'll take like a couple of days off, a week off, I'll actually, take a holiday, but I'll probably still have videos going up during that time anyway, so unless I tell you guys, you probably just won't even know it's happening. Before I talk about some slight content changes coming up soon, I want to do something a little bit sappy. I want to say thank you to basically everyone I've met along the way. Whether you're just some random commenter, whether you're someone on my Discord, or whether you're someone that over time I've started to consider a friend. People like Donald, Robertson, Ren, Cyan, Christian, Brian, all of these people are amazing people, and I'm very happy to have met them. But even if you're just someone who lurks around in my comment section, has literally never said a single word to me, or maybe you're someone who just got here yesterday, I want to say that I appreciate you, and thank you for joining me along this journey. Anyway, that's enough of the sappy stuff. Let's talk about some changes coming up, mainly focused around moving to the new place. The first change isn't really a change, it's more like returning to what I was doing before. I had stopped live streaming both on this channel and the gaming channel for a couple of months. The gaming streams are back now, but the reason that I stopped streaming is because the connection here was basically unusable. I had like I think like 1 up, and you're not streaming on that. Unless I'm streaming at like a unwatchable bitrate, it's just not going to happen. So that is coming back, and I do plan to finish off Linux from scratch. I was very close to the end, maybe like a stream and a half until that was going to finish. So that's going to happen. I'm very excited to do so. And then assuming that I did everything properly and the system actually works, we'll also be doing BLFS as well, beyond Linux from scratch. That's going to take a very long time because there is a lot of compiling. Actually, basically all of it is compiling code. But one of the problems I had with LFS is I got burnt out on it, I think like 5 or so episodes in. It got to the point where I just didn't want to do LFS streams, and I wasn't excited to start streaming. So to counteract that, I'm not going to be doing LFS and BLFS every single week. What I'm going to be doing is mixing in other sort of streams. I want to start doing a lot of sort of distro review streams, not just for regular distros, like, hey, Ubuntu 22.04, hey look, Ubuntu 22.10, like that's cool, and I'll do that whenever the, like, release dates line up with the stream, but I want to do things like, hey, Hannah Montana Linux, Among Us, other random dumb distros out there, and weird distros that aren't dumb, just different from the way that typical distros work. Things like Bedrock Linux, for example, which people have asked me to look at countless times. I'd also love to do more open source games. I want to give Mindtest another proper shot because last time I tried it, for whatever reason, my system wasn't happy and it was incredibly laggy. I also want to go and play Xenodic again because Xenodic is always a ton of fun. I also want to try out some programming language streams, not trying out languages that I already know, because I don't really find those to be that interesting. Going and learning a new language, whether that's Rust or Ruby or anything else like that, I think that could make for interesting content. And if anyone has any suggestions, anyone wants me to learn their favorite language, I think that could be fun as well. Now, by the time that you guys are seeing this, I may have done my first stream since coming back, but I may not have. I'm not sure if I'm doing it the night that I actually move in, or if I'm going to leave it till the next one. I'll decide when we get there, but if I haven't done it, then it's probably going to be a Q&A stream. The other massive change is I'm going to have a way bigger room. I believe the new room is 3x4, which doesn't sound that crazy, but compared to my current room, where here, this is as far back as my chair goes, it's going to give me a lot more freedom. And one of the things I want to do is buy a standing desk. So what you're going to see is me, like, waving my arms around way more than I already do, and, like, pacing. It's going to be chaos. If you think that the way that I do videos now is already, like, chaotic and annoying enough to some people, it's gonna get much worse, but it's also gonna make the videos way more fun. Obviously, not every single video would be recorded like that. If I'm doing some sort of tutorial where I really need to show what's going on the screen, I'm looking at some random app, it makes more sense to be at my desk. But if I'm doing a video like this, for example, or I'm doing a news video or a rant video or anything like that, having that extra dynamic movement, I think, is going to be kind of fun. I've also had a green screen and a whiteboard for a very, very long time. The issue, though, is there's not exactly any productive way to use that in my current setup. So by having space behind me, green screen I can easily use, and maybe if I'm doing some video where I need to show some sort of diagram, I might do it on the whiteboard instead of doing it in a really scuffed way on GIMP. I have no idea what I'll use the green screen for. Maybe I'll, like, put myself in front of my screen and do something like that. Maybe, like, point to shit. I don't know. I'll work it out when we get there, but all I know is it's gonna be a new way to make content. But for the most part, it's gonna be business as usual. Sure, there'll be a slightly different space, and sure, the presentation style will be slightly different, but I'm still gonna be here, and you still have to deal with my voice. What happens from now on is basically anyone's guess, but I hope you guys stick around for the ride and see where it's going to take us. So if you like this video, remember to go and like the video. If you really like the video and want to become one of these amazing people over here, go check out my Patreon, subscribe, Stony Bearer Pay, linked in the description down below. I've got a podcast called Tech Over Tea, available basically anywhere. I've got a gaming channel called Brodie Robertson Plays. That's going to be it for me, and I'm out.